Welcome to NCERT Class 6 Science Chapter 1 Food. Where does it come from? Let's read the lesson. What did you eat at home today? Find out what your friend ate today. Did you eat the same kind of food yesterday and today? We all eat different kinds of food at different times, isn't it? Food variety. Activity 1. Ask your friends in the school about the items they would be eating during a day. See if you can also get this information from the friends staying in different states of India. Why they've said from different state of India? Because the different state of India have different food eating habits. The people staying in coastal, they mostly prefer rice and fish, whereas interior of India, they prefer vegetables and chapati, dal. What do we eat? We have to make a table like this, name of students and friends and food item eaten in a day. Here is the picture of food items, dal, fish, sambar, rice. There seems to be so much variety in the food that we eat. Figure 1.1. What are these food items made of? Think about rice cooked at home. We take raw rice and boil it in water. Just 2 materials or ingredients are needed to prepare a dish of boiled rice. On the other hand, some food items are made with many ingredients. To prepare vegetable curry, we need different kinds of vegetables, salt, spices, oil, and so on. Activity 2. Choose some of the items you listed in the table 1.1. Try to find out what ingredients are used to prepare this by discussing with your friends and elders at home. List them in table 1.2. Some examples are given here. Add some more items to this list. Table 1.2. Food items and their ingredients. Food items like roti, chapati. What do you need? You need ingredients are atta and water. So to make a chapati, you need only atta and water. To make dal, you need pulses, water, salt, oil, ghee, spices. So these are the ingredients that we use to make a dal or to make a chapati. What do we find? Do we find some ingredients common for different food items discussed in the class? So where do this ingredient come from? 1.2. Food materials and sources. It may be easy for us to guess the source of some of the food ingredients that we listed in table 1.2. Fruits and vegetables, for instance, figure 1.2a. Plant sources. Where do they come from? They come from plants, of course. What are the sources of rice and wheat? You may have seen paddy or wheat fields with rows and rows of plants, which gives us these grains as in figure 1.3. This is the figure, children, observe this. And then there are food items like milk, egg, meat, which come from animals. This is a hen and eggs are there, okay? Activity 3. Let us take food items listed earlier and try to find out where they come from. The ingredients and their sources. What you have to find out, if you are eating some food, we have made a list of foods. So from where they are coming? Is it a plant source or animal source? So children, you have to find out and make the list of it. Some examples are shown in table 1.3. Example is food item, okay? Idli. If you see idli, what is required to make a idli? you need rice, urad dal, salt and water. Now rice comes from plants, urad dal comes from plants. So what is the source? Plants. Now if you are making a chicken curry, what do you require? The ingredients are chicken and it should be tasty, so we add spices, oil, ghee and water. Now chicken comes from, it is an animal source. Spices comes from plant source. Oil and ghee, it can be plant source or animal source also. We require water. Third example is given of kheer. Now if you want to make a kheer, what do you need? You need milk, rice and sugar. Now sugar of course we get from sugarcane, so it is a plant source. Rice is a plant source. Milk, from where do we get milk? We get milk from cows and buffaloes, so it is an animal source. Fill in the blank in table 1.3 and add more example to this list. Dal is a plant source, so you will write a plant. Salt you get from the sea. Okay, chicken you get from animal, so it is an animal source. Spices you get from plants. Okay, so you have to fill this. Sugar you get from sugarcane. What do we conclude from activity 3? Plant are the sources of food. Ingredients like grain, cereals, vegetables and fruits. Animals provide us milk, meat product and eggs. Cows and goats and buffaloes are some common animal which gives us milk. Milk and milk products like butter, ghee, cheese, curd are used all over the world. Can you name some other animal which gives us milk? The other animal gives milk is camel and yak. Yak is in the colder region and camel is in the desert. 1.3. Plant part and animal products as food. What is the different parts of plant? There is flower, fruits, stem, leaf. These are the shoot, okay? And the things that grow under the ground is root. We eat mainly leafy vegetables. We eat fruits of some plants, sometimes roots and sometimes stem. Even flowers. Have you ever eaten a pumpkin? Paheli wants to know if any of our food comes from the sources other than plants and animals. So you have to think about Paheli. Some plants have 2 or more edible parts. Seeds of mustard plants gives us oil and the leaves are used as vegetables. Can you think of different parts of banana plant that are used as food? Think of more examples where 2 or more parts of single plants are used as food. Plant parts as food. Food items with plant as major source. Brinjal curry. Ingredient are brinjal, chili as spice, oil from groundnut, mustard, soybean or any other plant. From which part of the plant is this? Brinjal is what? It is a fruit of a plant. Chili is also a fruit of a plant. Oil that comes groundnut, mustard, soybean, any other plant, that is, it comes from the seed. Activity 4. From all the food items you have listed in table 1.3, choose those items whose ingredients are obtained from plant. Which part of plant? Identify and list the food item and plant parts as shown in figure 1.4. In this table, children, we saw that food items with plant as major source. Example like brinjal curry. Ingredients are brinjal. What is the source of brinjal? It is a plant. But which part of the plant it is? It is a fruit. Chili as spice is used. So which part of the plant it is? Again, it is fruits. Oil can be from groundnut, mustard, soybean or any other plant. And the source is seed. So more examples you have to give children here and the sources and from which part it is. Do not try to taste unknown plants around you to see if they are edible. Some plant could be poisonous. Activity 5. 5. Take some dry seeds of moong or chana. Put a small quantity of seeds in container filled with water and leave this aside for a day. Next day, drain the water completely and leave the seeds in the vessel. Wrap them with a piece of wet cloth and set aside. The following day, do you observe any changes in the seeds? See, the seeds were first soaked in water, then they were wrapped in a piece of wet cloth and kept. After some times, after you can observe, the seeds are sprouted, the moong dal and its sprout. A small white structure have grown out of the seed. If so, the seeds have sprouted. If not, wash the seeds in water, drain the water and leave them aside for another day. Do you know where honeycomb comes from or how it is produced? Have you seen a beehive where so many bees keep buzzing about? Bees collect nectar, that is sweet juices. Bees collect nectar from flowers, convert it into honey and store it in their hive. Flowers and their nectar may be available only for a part of the year. So bees store this nectar for their use all through the year. When we find such a beehive, we collect the food stored by the bees as honey. Children, you can see a beehive here. Honeybees, they collect nectar from the flowers and they store it in this beehive and we call it as honey. Children, will continue in the next part. So please watch part 2. Thank you, children.